I just want to switch lanes a little bit. What's the goal? Once we're done with this primary schooling, secondary schooling, what is the goal? What are we prepping students for? Is there one end goal?
Survival.
Survival.
I'm being serious.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter if you go to college. It doesn't matter if you choose to go to a technical school.
Go to the military.
It doesn't matter if you choose to go to military.
Mm-hmm.
What we need to be able to do is teach you how to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You need to be able to fill out a job application. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to manage your life. You need to be able to engage with people in a healthy way. You need to be able to read and write. You need to be able to find a job and keep the job and not think that because you went out the night before, you could go to work late and be like, I was out, right. I'm tired.
Or because you went out the night before, you don't have to call work tomorrow and just not go in and still think you're going to have a job. It don't work that way.
So like overall, it doesn't matter. For me, it's like we need to make sure that we are creating a generation of people that we are okay with leading us when we are senior citizens.
I used to always tell my students that. I'm like, I don't know if I trust you with my future.
Because right now, I'm going to work forever. Because I'm not trusting. I'm not too sure I could trust everybody.
I think you're absolutely right. And I don't think, I know where I am, that's not the message. The teachers just like, everybody needs to fill out a college application, college. And I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, but it's not for all of them. I don't think that this is realistic. I think the goal should be for them to be able to be self-sufficient. Just like you said, you need to be able to get a job, to fill out a college application, to be able to provide for yourself, to be able to be stable. I think maybe there needs to be some type of post-secondary something that goes on, but that doesn't necessarily mean college. It doesn't necessarily mean an associate's degree. Sometimes you need to go to a little certificate program if you want to be a mechanic, something.
But those exist.
Right, exactly. But I think especially where I am now, is college, and everybody is not. Everybody wasn't meant to go in 1970, and they're not meant to go now in 2016. That's just the reality.
But that's true. But they're not gonna have as many opportunities without a degree.
That's true.
And so they need to at least have the opportunity to go. And I know that at my school, we make everybody apply for CUNYs. It doesn't matter if you're gonna go or not. You're still gonna apply because you need an option. And so if you choose not to go, that's your choice, but you're not going to tell us that we didn't give you that opportunity. So if you make the choice with your family or by yourself to not go to college, but you're not setting yourself up for success, because it's a meme going around on Instagram right now. It's just like they want you to have a degree and 30 years experience and you're 26 years old. It's just like, how is that possible? Because you're not gonna make more than $25,000 with just a high school diploma.
Well, that's why I said some type of post-secondary something needs to happen.
You need to have the option because some of these parents, their parents are making like $11,000-$12,000 a year, and it's just like, how are you living? And because they don't have this degree and this education, but then it's still, just because you have a degree doesn't mean you're going to get a great paying job.
Sure don't.
But at least you have. You need some kind of like credential. So if you want to go to the military and move your way up through the military, I mean, if you want to become a manager at McDonald's, that's perfectly fine because you need a degree for that.
So I'm about to work at McDonald's.
If you want to work at H&M, let me get your discount. Like, I am perfectly fine with you doing that too. But as long as you have some type of choice and you have a plan. So I think leaving high school, there should be a plan that each kid
puts in place.
Yes.
Right. But I think that right. Everybody's going to fill out this CUNY application. Of course, we do that. But yeah, I just don't think that's the only thing that we should be pushing. Like,
I can help them find a job.
Right. When I have my post-secondary fairs now, like I have a bunch of different organizations come in, because what I found like the first time is just like I had like 2-year CUNYs and 4-year schools and stuff like that come in, and a lot of my students, they're coming from a different place, right? You've already extended your stay in high school. You're just trying to get out of here.
That was a nice,
you know what I mean? You're not
extended your stay. Let me get extended.
Going right back to school is not it's not what most of them want to do, and doesn't mean that they won't ever get there. It's just not the logical next step for many of them. And so once we once I put together this fair and I had all of these different organizations come in, Brooklyn Workforce, Brooklyn Innovations, Empower, non-traditional employment for women, like the eyes lit up, like everybody was so excited and everybody was so happy because, going to CUNY, and that's where most of them will get accepted. Like if you are going to go to college, this is where you got to go. You're not getting accepted anyplace else. And so once we put those other mechanisms for them in place, they were more receptive.
I think I was going to say, I think that is going to change in education. I think that we're going back to a place of the technical program.
Yeah, because people can't pay their student loans back.
Yeah, I think we're going back to a place where schools are going to provide those options for students, just because everybody knows that college readiness, our across the city, like our college readiness, and so they test. So college readiness means that you have the indicators are you have a 80
70 on math now, Common Core.
70 on math, Common Core, because they switched the test, and you have to have a 75 in ELA, right? 70 and 75. Less than 40% of our graduates are college ready. We have like a 70-something% graduation rate in the city. So think about it. With all the
CDOS and all that stuff,
with all the exemptions. But like when you think about it, you're like, so that many of y'all couldn't get a 70 or a 75 or a 75 or ELA? That's reading and writing.
Reading and writing, exactly.
So across the city, I think there's this awareness that there has to be some options for other students.
And so they have something called CDOS now. I forgot what it stands for. But basically, you need 5 Regents exams to graduate high school, but now you just need 4.
And
plus
a 4 plus 1.
Plus the plus 1
yeah.
could be the CDOS, and that means that you had some kind of internship or you had some kind of career and technical experience where you receive career opportunities or a chance to go into the real world and do something different in order to graduate high school. So if you have a CDOS credit, you can, and you pass 4 exams, that you can graduate high school, because now at least you've been in the workforce and you can probably survive that way. And so, and before that was only for special education students because they got rid of IEP diplomas. And so
they don't you can't use them to get
into college.
Yeah.
But now you can, if you have your CDOS I'm using the wrong word, requirement. And because it's hard, like they should just get rid of these tests in the first place. Like just get rid of the Regents, but you could just Google the answers and then find the answers, because you're not testing, you're not measuring anything based on them memorizing.
Or at least when I was in school, like a Regents diploma was a bonus. Like you didn't have to have you didn't have to have a Regents diploma to move forward and but then I internalized that as then, so now the Regents was actually easier than it was, because why would you expect everybody to be able to attain a Regents diploma? I assumed, maybe that's just my oblivious assumption. I assumed that
I think
the test was now easier. It was more so like a RCT as opposed to the actual Regents exam.
I think it's also tied to like thinking about higher expectations. So if I say that you can graduate from high school and the bare minimum is a local diploma, and we know that a local diploma you don't really need to do much, then we're not holding you accountable to high expectations for the way the teacher teaches you or yourself.
And that only matters here.
I mean, it doesn't, and I was about to say, it doesn't really matter. None of these things really, like these diploma things. Yeah. I mean, what does matter, I will say, is that being able to say that you have over a 70 and a 75 is tied to not having to have to take remediation classes in college, so that's tied financially to you. But other than that, it's like you graduated.
It's like I passed 10 Regents exams. I'm gonna just go in Pennsylvania.
Who cares? Right. Nobody in Atlanta cared once I got there.
Nobody